Welcome everybody to another edition of our most anticipated manga releases, this time for the month of June 2026. A lot of interesting new number ones and an omnibus edition that I want to check out as well. So let's get this show on the road. From Viz Media, we have Shinobi Undercover Volume 1. This is by Ippon Takeguchi and Santa Mitarashi. This one is an action comedy shonen jump title, and it started back in 2024. Yodaka's worst nightmare comes true when his job as a public safety ninja forces him to go to high school and, even worse, talk to people. When it comes to combat, his skills are off the charts. When it comes to social interaction, however, he completely falls apart. But things take an unexpected turn when he discovers that talking to Aoi Mukai, the girl he's assigned to guard, is surprisingly easy. She's a total klutz, but there are also rogue ninja assassins in the school targeting her, and it's his and the other undercover shinobi's job to save her life without blowing their covers. From Seven Seas Entertainment, we have The Exiled Heavy Knight Knows How to Game the System. This one's an omnibus edition, collecting the first 2 volumes in one larger edition. This is an action fantasy adventure isekai series that started back in 2022, and it's still ongoing. Nobody in this world wants to end up assigned a class like Heavy Knight. Nobody, that is, except for Elimas Edvon, who knows from his memories of a past life that the class is an absolute monster for those who know how to use it. But the path of the Heavy Knight is particularly difficult in a society that doesn't know the true strength of the class. Exiled from his family, Elimas sets out to game the system and show the world his true power. From Kodansha, we have Secondhand Sisters Volume 1 by Batan. This is a drama romance josei series that ran from 2021 to 2023, 20 chapters collected in 5 volumes. Ever since they were little, Jun's charismatic younger sister, Ran, has had the habit of borrowing her favorite things and making them her own. It always annoyed Jun to lose her toys, clothing, and other belongings, but she saw it as just part of having a younger sibling. Until the day Ran claimed her boyfriend too. The two haven't spoken in 8 years when they're reunited at their mother's funeral. Ran and her husband, Jun's ex, want to move into the house their mother left behind, but Jun will be damned if she lets Ran take one more thing away from her. From Seven Seas Entertainment, we have Sea Melt Lover. This is by Yuki Kazami. It's a BL fantasy, not safe for work romance that ran from 2023 to 2024. One volume collecting 7 chapters. The Luta, beast-like humans with animal genes and characteristics, have suddenly appeared. In proportion to that, the number of human beings have decreased. Ordinary humans are kept as pets, used to satisfy their master's every whim. Ednetis, though a Luta himself, finds the system abhorrent. When a party goes awry and a human named Jin escapes from his tiger beastman keeper, Ednetis makes a fateful decision to help the runaway and flee with him into the unknown. From Viz Media, we have I'm No Angel from Ai Yazawa. This is a drama romance shoujo series that started back in 1991, lasting for 40 chapters up until 1994, collected in 8 volumes. In a brand new high school of only first years, Midori, a girl who gives her all, runs for a spot on the student council alongside Akira, a guy who sees things through. Once elected, they start a new legacy at school while also falling in love. From Kana, we have Billy Bat, Volume 1 by Naoki Urusawa and Takashi Nagasaki. This one is a drama, mystery, supernatural detective seinen series that started back in 2008 and lasted until 2016. 165 chapters collected in 20 volumes. The story begins in 1949 in Los Angeles. Kevin Yamagata, a Japanese-American cartoonist, has built his his career on Billy Bat, a sharp, wisecracking detective beloved by readers. But everything shifts when Kevin realizes he may have unknowingly copied the character from an image he once saw in Japan. Determined to find the truth, Kevin returns to a devastated post-war Japan. What he uncovers goes far beyond questions of inspiration or theft. The image of the bat is ancient, surfacing again and again across history, tied to moments of upheaval, power, and violence. Kevin follows this trail, drawn into a far-reaching mystery that blurs fiction and reality, where a single image may hold the key to forces shaping human history. From Tokyopop, we have I Picked Up a No-Good, Useless Prince, Volume 1. This is by Gunjo Kazuki, a rom-com series that started back in 2024 and it's still ongoing. Innkeeper Emma has spent her life idolizing Prince Kulhi, the dashing first prince of Gahama. That is, until the day he collapsed at her door. Having been stripped of his title and banished from the castle, Kulhi arrives at the cozy inn with nothing but an empty stomach and some serious self-esteem issues. And while Emma recognizes his face right away, she's left wondering, who the heck is this sad, self-deprecating husk of a man, and what has he done with her idol? From Titan Manga, we have Eko Eko Azarak Reborn, Volume 1, written and drawn by Yamada Jeita. This is a horror supernatural seinen series that ran from 2020 to 2023, 30 chapters collected across 5 volumes. Misa Kuroi, a powerful witch awakened by humanity's darkest desires, is summoned by a mysterious stranger and sent on a harrowing journey into hell. Facing both her dark past and Lucifer himself, Misa must confront unimaginable horrors and unlock her true power to survive. From 7 Seas Entertainment, we have The Delinquent and the Transfer Student, Volume 1. This is by Fujichika, a comedic GL school series that started back in 2021, lasting until 2024. 3 volumes, collecting 23 chapters. Riri Kanzaki, the new girl in class, has a peculiar pastime. She wants the school's toughest delinquent, Atsuko, to say ridiculously cute things. Atsuko plays along, thinking Riri's just a harmless weirdo, until those silly little word lists start making her cheeks turn red. With each sweet phrase, the gap between them closes. And it's not just Atsuko who's getting flustered. Is this just a quirky game between opposites, or the beginning of something real? From Titan Manga, we have Awashi, Volume 1, the 3-in-1 Omnibus Edition. This is by Kobayashi Yugo, and it is an award-winning sports, soccer, or football series that started back in 2015 and ended in 2025. 412 chapters collected across 40 volumes. However, do keep in mind these are 3-in-1 editions that we're getting in English. To the world stage, glory and ambition lie ahead of young Ashito Aoi as he takes the first steps to becoming a pro soccer player. But after being catapulted into a new harsh environment, can he hold on to his spider's thread and climb his way to the top? From 7 Seas Entertainment, we have The Babe at My Back Has Her Eye on Me. I'm done for. Written and drawn by Koharu Michinoku, as well as Maromi Suya and Higure Hizuki. This one's a rom-com shonen series that started back in 2023 and it's still ongoing. When the girl who sits behind him in class falls into a ditch, loner high school student Fujiwara Sandai jumps to her aid, and his life is turned upside down. Even though the beautiful Yuizaki Shino has given the cold shoulder to practically every guy in her life, she'll take any opportunity to spend time with Sandai. Is this all some elaborate prank to humiliate this gloomy otaku, or was a simple act of kindness all it took to win her heart? From 7 Seas Entertainment, we have Let's Run an Inn on Dungeon Island, in a world ruled by women. This one's an omnibus edition, collecting the first 2 volumes in one big collected edition. This one's an adventure fantasy not safe for work isekai that started back in 2020. Sanada Shiro thought escaping his dead-end corporate job would mean peace at last, until he wakes up in a world where women rule the battlefield and men are treated like fragile. fragile treasures. Gifted with creation magic, Shiro figures the smart move is to open a cozy inn and live the slow life he's always wanted. But slow doesn't last long when the fiercest fighters and boldest beauties of this matriarchal world start checking in and checking him out. Between building the perfect inn and surviving as the entertainment for his rowdy residents, Shiro's new life is shaping up to be anything but ordinary. Mars 30th Anniversary Edition Volume 1 hardcover from Fuyumi Soryo. A 2-in-1 hardcover featuring glittering metallic covers and new cover illustrations from the creator. This is celebrating the 30th anniversary with an all-new translation and an overall sweet hardcover package. A drama, romance, shoujo that ran from 1996 to 2000. 59 chapters collected across 15 volumes. However, these new editions will be complete in 8 hardcovers. Kira's life has been marked by pain. Gang violence took her father when she was young, and her mother's remarriage only inflicted even more appalling scars. She has no trust left to offer the world, so when a ravishingly handsome boy asks her for directions one day, she draws a map and hands it to him without a word. On the other side of the map is one of her drawings, which catches the eye of the boy, a motorcyclist named Rei. When the two end up in the same class, an outrageous incident will bind them together. Rei promising to model for Kira in exchange for more of her art. But Rei has also suffered a family tragedy that has worn down his temper to a short, flashing fuse. Can these two damaged souls with nowhere else to turn heal each other, or will they burn themselves out first? Hold up, before we continue, we've reached the midway point of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video and comment down below. I'd appreciate it. Okay, so this is a brand new idea that was suggested a while back and I'm finally implementing it. These are the final volumes that are coming out in the month of June. From Viz, we have Assassin's Creed Shadows Tales of Iga, Volume 1. This is by Regugie, and it was first started back in 2025, an action historical manga that takes place before Assassin's Creed Shadows. Caught in a secret war between the Templar Order and the Assassin Brotherhood, feudal Japan becomes a battleground for assassins and shinobi alike. From Seven Seas Entertainment, we have Gladiator Battle Life. This is by Rarutori and Atsushi Sugiyama, an action fantasy series that ran from 2023 to 2024. 11 chapters collected in 2 volumes. In the brutal Colosseum where blood, glory, and despair collide, Baron Rugal has forsaken his noble name to seize his own destiny. Branded a villain and despised by the crowds, this fearsome gladiator refuses to bow to jeers or fate, answering every challenge with his blade. Each fight may further tarnish his reputation, but for Rugal, carving a path of his own through steel, sweat, and defiance is worth any prize. From Titan Manga, we have The One, Later On, Volume 1 by Nahato, as well as Miya Kazutomo and Narie Shinichiro. This one's an action-adventure fantasy series that first started publication back in 2018, and it's still ongoing. Wazu's life was forever changed when he was rejected by the hero's party and forced to leave his hometown. Once a weak and ordinary boy, he spent 2 years training alone in the mountains to prove his worth. Now, stronger and determined, Wazu returns to a world that has moved on, only to find his childhood friend Arya engaged to the hero who once mocked him. Heartbroken, Wazu embarks on a new journey, facing misunderstandings, new relationships, and the challenge of finding his place in a world that has changed. From Viz Media, we have Cocoon by Machiko Kyo. This is a war drama josei series that started back in 2008, lasting for 15 chapters up until 2010, collected in one singular volume. San and her best friend Mayu attend a boarding school for girls in Okinawa, but their studies are interrupted when they and the other students are recruited to help the war effort as assistant nurses. Sent to the front lines, the girls must deal with more than just the threat of enemy bombs overhead. Stuck working in the horrifying caves of a field hospital, San wishes she could wrap herself and her friends in a cocoon of protection, but invisible threads of affection are no match for the carnage that surrounds them, and day by day more students perish. Worn down by starvation and loss, what will San and her remaining friends do when they are told to find their way home through the fields of total war? From Tokyopop, we have Beneath the Falling Camellia Blooms, Volume 1. This is by Natsuo Ichikawa, a historical drama series that started publication back in 2024, still ongoing. Ever since he was a child, Haruichi has been haunted by the mystery surrounding his parents' death, when he receives a note claiming that a wealthy family was involved in the tragedy. Haruichi sets out to find the answers, taking a job as the caretaker for the family's young daughter. But when he discovers a surprising kinship with his new ward, Tsubaki, it complicates his reasons for being there. From Dark Horse, we have The Art of Star Wars: A New Hope, the manga, Volume 1. This is the first of 2 volumes collecting the recreated original art from the 1997 manga adaptation of Star Wars: A New Hope, along with a new translation taken directly from the lettering on the boards. This is a high-resolution reproduction of Hisao Tamaki's original unaltered art. From Yen Press, we have A Timid Lady Was Turned into an Ugly Cat, but on the verge of fainting is picked up by the most fearsome military duke, Volume 1, written and drawn by Otori and Ko Kusaka, a fantasy romance series that lasted from 2023 to 2024, 15 chapters collected in 3 volumes. Marie's life as a viscount's daughter is snatched away when her own sister curses her to become a cat, and then steals her betrothed. Forsaken, she collapses from hunger when tender hands reach out. And on the other side is the undefeated duke with a reputation for being cruel and unfeeling. Marie's turn from misfortune to a comfortable cat life begins here. From Kodansha, we have Whoever You Are, I Love You, Volume 1. This is by Keiku Hagiwara, a suspenseful drama that was started back in 2023 to 2025. 16 chapters in this josei series collected in 4 volumes. Unmarried at 32, temp worker Yuki Sato is determined to find a husband for the sake of her ailing father, who wants nothing more than to see his beloved daughter in a wedding dress before he dies. Enter Yoji, the perfect man she meets on a dating app. Now Yuki is finally ready to settle down, until Shun confronts her with the details of his brother's mysterious death, and she discovers that her fiancé may not be who he seems. From Yen Press, we have the omnibus release of Skullface bookseller Honda-san. This is a comedic slice of life that ran from 2015 to 2019. 34 chapters collected in 4 volumes. However, with this omnibus release, you get everything in one sweet package. Ever wonder what it's like to sell comics at a Japanese bookstore? Honda provides a hilarious first-hand account from the front lines. Whether it's handling the store, out-of-print books, or enthusiastic manga fans, Honda takes on every challenge. And now all the observations and shenanigans have been collected in this one omnibus. From Yen Press, we have The Daughter of the Demon Lord is Too Kind, Volume 1. This is by Yuya Sakamoto, a comedy fantasy series that ran from 2018 to 2025. 49 chapters collected across 7 volumes. The fearsome Demon King, who seeks to conquer the entire world, has abruptly put a pause on his campaign. The reason? His daughter is so kind, he's worried she'll stray from the path of demons. Determined to turn her into a merciless and fearsome heir worthy of the throne, he enlists for the help of his trusted aide. World domination can wait, for a parent's duties come before a king's. From 7 Seas Entertainment, we have Workin' the Night Shift at Akumart. This is by Najimi, a fantasy slice of life series that started back in 2021. When night falls over Osaka's premier entertainment district, a deep darkness gathers as vagrants and bar hoppers alike flock to late-night mini-marts to feed their basest cravings and vices. Hoping to harvest this evil energy for her own needs, the hardworking demon Allura has come to the human world to work at one such convenience store, where she quickly finds that the night shift sucks and she can't reap the precious human evil she wanted. Will she be able to hold down the job, or will the crushing reality of working retail send her back to the underworld? From Yen Press, we have Thank You for Taking Care of Our Boy Banri, Volume 1. This is by Chitose Kaido, and it's an adult shoujo romance series that started back in 2023. When trend-chasing college girl Nanase got the offer from her sister, she could hardly believe her ears. A chance to work at the same talent agency as the Banri Narita, as his temporary manager no less, is absolutely completely a dream come true. That is, until she meets the man behind the stand. Alluring, amicable Banri is a cruel tyrant, incredibly demanding and uncaring that he's working her into the ground. However, now that she's seen the star without his twinkle, are the embers of her crush igniting a new fire in her heart? From Titan Manga comes Genie Earth Volume 1. This is by Rensuke Oshikiri. This one's an action sci-fi shonen series that ran from 2021 to 2022. 43 chapters collected in 5 volumes. A gene has surfaced, granting 1 in every 1,000 people incredible abilities, and the new humans, or geniuses, declare themselves superior to old humans. Fuwa Masaru, a genius, leads a violent uprising, sparking a brutal civil war that threatens to obliterate the planet. Amid the chaos, a mysterious old human with an enigmatic aura appears, potentially the only hope to end the conflict and save the world. From 7 Seas Entertainment, we have Al the Adventurer, That Magic Shouldn't Work. This is written and drawn by Lemon Toko as well as Yamazaki Sime, an adventure fantasy series that started back in 2024, still ongoing. Kidnapped by goblins at the age of 3, young Al's life was saved by his grandfather's dazzling magic, sparking a fascination that would shape his destiny. Determined to wield such power himself, Al devoted the next 12 years to relentless study and training, but even after all that preparation, his journey is only just beginning. Al sets out to uncover the legendary Book of Spells, a rare tome said to hold secrets beyond imagination. From Manga Mavericks Books, we have Fish God Volume 1 from Clona. This one's an action fantasy series that started back in 2022 and it's still ongoing. The world is infested by kaigyo, fish that walk on land, eat concrete, and destroy buildings. Their typical behavior is bizarre enough, but 10 years ago, Nish witnessed these pests become murderers while under the command of a mystery person clad in black and eat his parents whole. He takes on a job exterminating the fish while looking for leads, but instead finds a strange woman eating the poisonous kaigyo flesh. Alright, there it is, a bunch of new number 1s that are coming out. Honestly, some heavy hitters along with some underrated releases as well. Let me know in the comment section which ones you are most excited for. That is going to be it for now. Be sure to follow me on social media or join my Discord. The link is in the description below. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. God bless. Stay safe out there. I will catch all of you on the next one.